dreams inside. Justise, Ray, and Phil light up the mic. From the latest in tech to the roads we pave, debating all things EV, the power we crave. Justise, Ray, and Phil in the electric west. Watch, like, and subscribe. Be part of our guest. CarEdge Electric, where passions ignite. The show starts now. Embrace the EV life.
Yeah, buddy, I'm rocking.
Good
Holy
morning.
moly. You okay, Ray? You all right?
Music I get the music in me.
I agree. I agree. Happy Friday, guys.
Happy
Yeah.
Friday. Happy
Good to
Flag
see you.
Day.
It's
It is-
Flag
it
Day.
is Flag
It
Day.
is. It's Flag Day today. Again, already. Can't believe it's
Mhm.
already been a year since the last Flag Day.
Wow. Well, happy
It,
Flag
it does
Day.
happen every year on this day.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
So, yeah, happy Flag Day, everybody. I should have the Tesla flag behind me.
Sure.
Mm, I mean, maybe.
They have one. I've seen it at Fremont. They do have one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm happy for it. Yeah.
So we do not have a special guest today. He's busy launching his product, so hopefully we'll have him soon. I don't want to
Oh,
promise.
man, we totally hyped it up last week, too.
I know, and I'm excited to have him on. I'm excited to talk about the product, and I think it's going to be a fun
I was
discussion.
roaring ready to go to talk about that.
I know. So, but not this week. I haven't heard back from him. I know he's trying to launch a new product, so all the room in the world. He's welcome on whenever he's.
Was it Elon?
No,
Yeah.
it was not Elon. If anyone has Elon's contact information, I'll be happy to reach out to. Actually, we happen to know someone who does have his contact.
I'm pretty sure we do. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We do. Matter of fact, that's where I go for all of my Tesla news is over to Farzad, who could recap everything so I don't have to watch it all.
Mhm.
But you probably don't take this wrong when I say this, but you're probably geeky enough to want to watch the whole damn thing.
I started to watch the Investor Day thing.
Yeah.
And I will say this about Elon. He has trouble getting words out to the level that makes me kind of anxious. So I watched the Investor Day on Farzad's channel, who clips out all the uhs and ums.
Oh,
And
okay.
goes through everything for me, and it's much nicer for me to watch. And they cut out all the little glitches and stuff. So I did watch all of the Investor Day, but through Farzad's lovely editing that he does, which makes it much more digestible for me.
Very good. So, what's on our agenda for today?
So today I thought we would talk about what EVs are coming in 2025.
Yes.
See if any catch our eyes. Like, is there anything out there that we're like, hey, I want to go try that?
So do you remember when not used, but in the recent not future, but in the last couple of months, I've always said, like, in order to get me to buy an EV,
Yes.
it needs style. It needs something that gets because I've lost all the soul from the engine and from the sound of the car, right? What am I going to get now? Style, right? Bring the style back. Bring something engaging that gets juices flowing and gets me engaged with wanting to buy an EV. Now, I saw a few in here. I can't wait to go through some of them.
Yeah. So
there might be a day, guys. There might be a day.
I agree with you, Phil. I think styling is going to be some of it. I have mixed feelings about Hyundai's N-Line with the engine noise and the manual shifting, all of which, of course, are fake. But I think they're going to pull in a certain demographic of people who miss that. Maybe they want the efficiency of an EV, but to, like what you're saying, Phil, they feel like there's no soul. I know there's a lot of manual enthusiasts out there. And of course, manuals aren't as efficient as automatics anymore.
Mm-hmm.
With the dual clutch automatic, really solves a lot of that issue between the performance. So as soon as those came out, but that doesn't mean that people don't still like those. So I think it's interesting. I know, part of me is like, oh, that's just silly, like to have all that. But there is something about enjoying the way you drive and driving like you want to. And so I don't know, the choice is silly. I think my reaction was a little overblown, even though I didn't really say it out to anybody else. They said it to me. But I think I analyzed my own reaction. Like, you know what, if this gets people into vehicles that they like, and this is a way to bridge that, then good. Good for Hyundai for capturing that market, because Tesla's never going to do that, right? That's something that they're going to go down the road and do. And competition is great. Love competition, love to do it. I've often said, if I didn't have the Tesla, I would be a Hyundai Kia that I'd be looking at. Those are the vehicles. So,
well, that's not entirely so. You
I
did
like
look
the
at
Lucid
a Lucid Air. So.
Oh yeah,
That's right. Sorry, of
Yes,
vehicles I could afford.
Okay.
Yeah. But the Lucid and the Mercedes EQS both really like both those vehicles. But to say they're out of my price range is a bit of an understatement.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, let's pull these up. Let's take a look. Phil, do you remember which article it was that the ones that you liked were in? Was it Autoblog or Car and Driver?
I think both of them had a couple that I
Cool.
liked.
Well,
y'all know I'm a Cadillac fan, so
yeah, we do. Yeah.
The Escalade and the I really do like the
Escalade IQ.
No, I'm not. I mean, it's okay. I like the looks of the Mystique. That one right there. I think styling, it really looks good. This is probably one of my more favorite ones.
Yeah, I like so there's the back of it. It's got more traditional styling.
It looks like a Cadillac.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Thank you, Ray. There you go. Yep.
Yeah, it does. It looks a lot more like a traditional Cadillac. Actually, does the Escalade have bulging door handles? That's interesting. This one does not. But yeah, it does look a lot more like an ICE version of a Cadillac.
It does.
It
does.
Which is is good, I guess, for people like you who want that kind of styling. That makes sense to me.
It's just out there a little bit from your traditional type styling, but yet it still retains a lot of it that kind of keeps you, engaged with it from a traditional ICE. It just has. I think hopefully it's going to do well. I think it looks good. It looks better than I think the Lyric. I'm not styling wise. I'm just not a fan of the Lyric.
Right? Yeah. I know the Lyric was on one of these. Anybody for the
was
Bolt?
it? I didn't even see it in there.
You guys running
I don't
for
think
the
the
Bolt?
Lyric was on there.
Oh, was it? I thought it was.
No.
I looked through a lot of these yesterday.
It is. If you look to the right of your screen right there where it says all
Oh, yeah.
2024 Lyric.
Maybe that's what I
ad
was looking at.
right there.
Maybe that's what I was looking at. Yeah. Yeah, the Lyric is do we get to the Lyric if we do that? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't like what they're doing with the back end of that car. And then also with their Celestique, the $300,000 one. I mean, it just makes the back end just no, thank you.
You're not for that.
No.
All right, that's fair.
Uh-huh.
I knew I saw the Lyric there. The Ioniq 7 looks interesting.
Ugly.
I don't know. I think it looks interesting. It's like it looks a lot like the 9, only smaller. I actually do like the 9 a lot. You got the Jeep. Everyone running for the Jeep. I don't know. I still
Looks like
don't
a Jeep.
know. It does look like a Jeep.
Yeah.
So to Phil's point, when you're keeping the styling, I think there's something to be said for that. Something to not
There
go
is.
out
There
there.
I
Because
like-
if Jeep fans are Jeep fans, we all know that. Like, there are diehard Jeep people, and they love their Jeeps.
Yes,
And
they
so, if Jeep went into the EV world with some weird new cyber design, they would just lose that crowd. So I think
Mhm.
it's smart.
I was fond of the Lotus.
The Lotus, okay, yeah. So the Wagoneer, look, you know I love the Grand Wagoneer, but I'm not so much on that one. You like so this one,
Yes.
that what are we calling that? Emiya?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But, yeah,
I thought that was a good looking vehicle.
yeah, I like that. The
It is.
interior looks very familiar to me.
And it looked like the type of Lotus
That's ridiculous.
that I could actually get into and out of.
Yes.
Does it? See, it looks so low to the ground to me,
Yeah.
Ray. I mean, I guess you're more low to the ground than I am. But
Yeah.
even getting out of my car, like trying to stand up out of my car, it's just like I'm like I need an SUV just because
I just no. I mean, it looks sporty, but it doesn't necessarily look like a sports car.
yeah,
If that makes
Right.
sense.
yeah.
Yes.
It's a 4-door sports car, so yeah.
Yeah.
And as you go down, it doesn't look like what that Maserati is, right? So like that's low.
See, now this
We'll get
is
to
my
that.
favorite one on the list. Yeah, we'll get to that one. Yeah, there's your
That
modern.
one.
You're right.
Yeah. So-
And this is a sports car for sports car people.
Yeah. I mean, I could get into that one time.
Yeah,
Never getting out of it.
yeah. This is one that you fall into, Ray. You don't
Yeah.
get into it. You just sort of
and,
fall, and then there you are.
and that's why I say the Lotus, at least to me, looks like something that I could get into and out of. As I mean, this is a great looking sports car, but I ain't getting in and out of it.
Yeah. No, I go with with what Phil said on the styling. This looks like Maserati Sports,
Yes.
which there's some Maseratis that we see all the time here in my area that are just look like
It's
Toyotas
just going
to
to take
me.
some time to get used to, even though looking at that styling, and that looks great. I mean, I actually like that. It's just the expectation is you get into it and you push that start button and you hear the growl coming from the back.
I will say that. Look,
it's going to take some time. Once we transition completely, which we're still decades away, but once that happens, it's gonna be frustrating not to be able to hear that anymore.
Look, I actually agree with you on that one. On these kind of cars,
Mhm.
it's very odd to me to not hear that kind of sound out of it. I'm not the sound and vibration is the soul of car guy. I'm just not. I don't like that. But there's something with these supercars like that you got to put some sort of noise in there, even if it's a futuristic sci-fi movie sound. You gotta do something. It's got to sound like something. It can't be silent. To me, like it's got to be something. I agree.
I think that's a great looking car.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but it would be. I have to agree with it. It would be thoroughly disappointing to hit the start button or however you would turn it on and hear
Vacuum
nothing.
sound.
Yeah, and hear absolutely nothing.
No, I don't like that. No, thank you.
So, what do we think about the EQG? I mean, it kind of looks like the other
A
Mercedes.
G-Wagon,
Yeah.
just electrified.
Yeah,
Which,
it's not for me.
That's your thing.
Okay.
I like when they're trying to hide all their lines. I don't really fully understand why. The Aceman looks a lot like a Clubman, or am I?
There you go, Ray.
Yeah.
it doesn't look anything like a Clubman.
Which one is it? It looks like in this. It looks like one of them. I don't know mine.
It's certainly psychedelic. Just
Well,
because,
yeah, the pink
because of the wrap that's on it.
Well, take the wrap off, and then
Yeah.
it kind of does look like a
Yeah.
Clubman.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to. The interior is interesting. I like that I like and dislike that they're keeping the round theme inside. I don't know about a giant round screen, but I haven't I don't know. Maybe it's great.
It's actually, when I got my car serviced, I sat in the new Cooper and the new Countryman, and the interiors are really kind of neat. Doesn't mean I will say this for the Countryman, it's too big to be a Mini. It just it is. I mean,
Yeah.
why would I buy that? I'd go buy something. I'd be better off with a Mazda or something like that than the Mini in that size. But the interior and the choice of materials in the new interiors is really interesting. But
yeah, is all that dashboard looks interesting. It's very textured. The screen on that one is the one that threw me off when I was looking at the video of that the big round screen. But then I saw that yesterday, and then last night I was driving my car, and I realized my great big screen.
Yeah,
70% of it is just the stupid map at all times.
Yeah, it's
I'm I don't know. I'm not even using 70% of the screen most of the time that I'm driving.
And your big screen, the only difference is it's rectangular instead of round.
Yeah, but I thought, how much am I missing by it being round?
Yeah.
And then yesterday I'm like, nothing, because I'm really only looking at 30% of my screen, because it's the part that has information on it. The rest is my map, which I don't care about. These
are the first Minis, the new ones, that actually finally have Android Auto. Not that Mini's ever late to the party with stuff that it brings out. But yeah.
Which is funny because BMW tends to adopt that stuff pretty quickly.
Mini's the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Polestar 5?
Not a fan.
I liked the Polestar, but I know Mario dropped his Polestar and went over to Hyundai. So,
well, that tells you everything you need to know.
I'd like to see it without whatever this wrap is.
Yeah, I know.
I'd like to see it in a color. Yeah.
It's hard to tell, which is the whole point of those wraps.
Sure.
To tell the lines.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, I could probably Photoshop it for you, Phil, and send it over to you.
You know what?
Put
it's
some
totally
color
okay. I don't need that kind of effort to go into seeing a Polestar 5.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I don't like the Porsche Macan Electric at all.
This looks like an overgrown Beetle.
No, it does. Look, as soon as Porsche went to SUV, they lost me. I felt like, you've lost your brand identity now by going to that, because you were there with Ferrari and Maserati and these things. You were there with performance cars, and now you're just high-end luxury, which that's what you want to be, but you're not a sports performance company anymore. That's when they lost me.
I think the Audi side of the group produces a much better looking EVs than Porsche.
Yeah. I mean, this one does not help in that color.
Well, forget the color. It's just the line. Everything about it.
No, like I said, it doesn't help. The color does not help on that. You got the Ram 1500. Which, I don't know. If you like trucks, there it is for you. I mean, and apparently America loves trucks. So there you go.
Well, what America really loves is overpriced trucks, because that's what the manufacturers are all making. So,
we had a, if I can jump off on a tangent for a second, we had a member coming in the other day. He wants the Tacoma hybrid.
Yeah,
He's like, but the prices are ridiculous. When is MSRP going to come down to the 42,000 range? Like, never.
Not
Yeah.
happening.
It's never going to come down. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's the kind of the problem with trucks now is that, I mean, first off, inflation doesn't go down. We're not going to.
No.
But the problem with these trucks is that they're all super expensive. And how people complain about the price of the EV trucks, and like the ICE trucks are super
Equally
expensive too.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane how expensive trucks are, just period. Yeah, what is this one doesn't tell me how much it is, but isn't this like 60? Doesn't it start at like in the 60s?
Oh,
I'm sure
stop
it
it.
does.
Nothing starts in the 60s. Stop.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying they're going to build it, but that's what their base is. So, and you got the Rivian 2, which I think is going to burst onto the scene. I think once they start making the Rivian, the R2 and S2, these are going to burst onto the scene. Small, compact SUVs that people want. They like them. And it's from Rivian. And either you like the Rivian style or you don't. But they're very unique.
I am on the side of I do not.
I was going to say, I wouldn't figure you, Ray, would care for that. You don't like the sort of out there designs. And I agree this one is a little more out there.
Well, I don't necessarily mind out there designs. I just, that one just doesn't move me for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, the Robotaxi.
The Robotaxi.
Robotaxi is a lot closer than you think, Phil. We can have a whole show about Tesla.
I hear you.
But then we have the ID Buzz, which is the most disappointing EV ever for me. I've gone on this tangent before, I think, but I was in Santa Monica when they launched this. They launched this vehicle in Santa Monica, and was it 2 years ago now? Maybe even 3. And they launched it, and it was beautiful, and they took us on test drives. We didn't get to test drive there as a driver, but we rode around in it, and I was like, sign me up. Let's go. Let's do it. And then they come out with a production model, and I'm like, oh, that's boring and didn't have any of the features that got me so excited about the test that I went in, which is mainly interior stuff. I'm so disappointed in this vehicle because I was so excited for it. And then now it's just an SUV.
It's
what it is.
It's meh.
Yeah.
It is meh.
It was so exciting on the prototype though. And it's just too bad that they're saying they can't do that in the US.
What does it look like on the inside now? Does it show pictures?
Yeah. There you go.
That's it. That's all we get.
There's the it's just an SUV, Phil. It's nothing.
Huh.
When we were in it, you could swivel the seats. You can create a U shape, and they had a table you could put in, and you could play games and cards, and you could be with the family. And there's this huge overhead window, and there was like, glass roof. It was great. Like, it was so futuristic. It was wonderful. This captain's chairs swiveled, and the second row swiveled all the way around.
Wow.
And there was so much that was great about it. Yeah. And then this is what we got, and I'm like, oh, okay. So there's nothing necessarily wrong with it. It just, for me, it was such a letdown from what there was.
Yep.
The Volvo EX90, I know someone mentioned that in here. I think that's going to do pretty well. I think the X series from Volvo sells relatively well. No one really ever talks about them because I don't think they release a lot of numbers. But just based on how many people ask me about them, and that we've helped over the years, I think Volvo's just silently sort of going along pretty well with their electric lineup. But
Go back to the A's for Audi.
So the e-tron,
Yes.
And then, yeah, so just the e-tron, I guess, here.
Yeah, and the other article but I think the e-tron's a great looking vehicle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, the Alfa Romeo. You want that one?
Well, no.
That one.
There you go. The Q6.
And they're going to offer an Avant, which I think would be interesting.
Yeah,
that would be
I do
cool.
remember
Yes,
seeing that somewhere in
100%.
there.
Yeah.
How about the Bentley?
How about the Bentley?
Not a maybe Igor. Are you going to get a Bentley? No
Of
one
course he
here.
will. He's had several.
I'm not a fan of that look, but that's that's
No.
just me.
BMWs.
In the M series, in an M, I mean, what
See,
do you
that right there, that still holds true to their design language over the
Yes.
past. And I like that. Like, I mean, I could potentially see myself getting into something like that. Their new design language, where BMW is going, I don't particularly like it. But like this is good. This is traditional BMW right here.
Yeah, and it doesn't have the Bugs Bunny teeth in the front.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
correct.
I guess Igor is not getting the EV Bentley.
Yeah,
But-
I know he won't.
I agree. This grill is much less
Yes.
off-putting to me personally than some of their newer designs that they do. I actually don't mind this one either. Actually, I know you guys. This is probably too far out for you guys, but I like these lines better. I mean, I would be all right with this one, depending on how it drives.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Just doesn't. Yeah.
I'm not so much on those ones, but they are getting rid of some of that BMW grill on those. How about the Buick? You know, I am surprised how big Buick is starting to come back. I think it's just starting to.
And there is realistically, when you think about it, no better name to bring back, especially going into an electric vehicle, than the Electra name. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I mean that's like perfect.
No, it is.
And I think it's a good looking vehicle.
I think it is too. You know, now that the Ocean is dead,
Is
you
it?
know, this kind of, well, I mean, yeah, not officially, but no, come on, sure it is. I think this sort of fits into that category pretty well, and you know, at a decent price point.
Yeah, no, I think
There's
that's
Phil's favorite.
Yeah,
I can't. The back end of it. Like, what was Cadillac thinking? And the fact that people are paying $300,000 for this thing.
Yeah.
yes.
Well, it's because it's built by hand, Phil.
I understand that, but
I don't.
it's the. I mean, my argument is just the way that this thing looks.
No,
like from the front, if you cut the back end off, everything from the rear wheel forward looks good. I like it. But you go from the rear wheel back, I don't understand what's happening here.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't like that. I always laugh when they say, "Oh, it's built by hand. That's why it's 300,000." Like,
I know.
Can you have a machine build my car? I actually trust the machine better to build it. So there's the Steak again. We didn't talk about this one. How do you feel about? Because this is actually out, right? The Optic.
Yeah, it's out. I actually don't mind the look of it.
Looks normal, right?
It does.
There's nothing here that gets me excited, but there's nothing that turns me off either. I just kind of go, okay. Right. Looks like
I'm actually okay with it.
SUV.
I am. It's too small for me, but you know, I do like the design language on this one. I do.
How about the Canoe truck?
How about the Canoe truck?
Yeah. So I mean, so the Canoes are actually pretty good for off-roading and stuff, more than the Cybertruck, more than a Rivian kind of thing. But I still go with the truck drivers, pickup truck owners, I should say. I don't think they're so much for the alternate look thing. I think most pickup owners want the more traditional pickup look, which is why they all look like they do.
Yeah, that's just kind of ugly.
Nah, I'm not the. So
Now, that's really ugly.
well, so the canoe sort of van thing is what they used at Google for years and years and years. And I've ridden in one, and it was like getting into a bus. You know, it's got the in the round seating, and you just get in, and it was self-driving, and it was fine. But I was okay with it at a tech campus. I don't know that I would be sitting in this driving around, but if this was to be launched as autonomous driving, you know, carpool thing out in the world, I could see that. I could see it going there because I Googled these doors open up sideways, right? So you have a great big opening to get in. Yeah.
Okay.
They're sliding on both all the way. So you have a great big opening to get in. I think that would be a use. I don't see a ton of people buying that as that look, but the Corvette EV, I don't know. Do we think Corvette owners are going to buy EVs?
I am saddened.
We seem to think that Charger and Challenger buyers are going to buy EVs, which I disagree with. But
I'm on board with the E-Ray. I think that's a great use of both the V8 and, you know, being able to have an all-wheel drive capability out of that. I think it's awesome. I mean, look, we know that Chevrolet is gonna do it. It's gonna come out. It's gonna be a full EV. Of course they're gonna do an SUV. Ford did it. I'm just saddened by it.
I just see there's some of these vehicles, and I'm somewhat surprised that they're already announcing their, you know, electrifying certain ones. And this is one of the ones I just don't. I know a lot of vet owners, and let me tell you, nobody mocks me for having an EV like Corvette owners do. I just, you know, at least the ones in my area don't seem to be like excited to jump into the EV market. So I'm surprised that some of these models are coming as quick as they are. I figured they would be the last ones to change over. The Charger and Challenger too. Like, just blows my mind that we've discontinued those to go to the EV model, and I'm like, wow, that feel like you're not talking to your base buyer out of those. The Volt looks like the Volt.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it just hasn't changed, not a lot. The new Chrysler EV crossover, they're comparing it with the Mach-E. I think it looks better than the Mach-E.
Yeah,
I do too. I mean, I'm not mad at this.
No.
You know, it looks good.
It almost has Lucid lines to it.
It does.
I agree.
It's got a lot more of that sort of look into it. I like it. I like the lines on this better. Like I said, I'm not anti Mach-E by any means, but I'm not pro Mach-E either. But I think this looks better than that one there.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what Chrysler says they're going after, you might have a good shot at it, especially if the Mach-E doesn't. Yeah. See, I'm at a loss, guys. I'm at a loss on especially doing it the Daytona series. Like, really, you want to electrifying the muscle car seems odd to me. Muscle car owners right now, I mean, Phil isn't a muscle car guy, and he still complains about losing the soul of the car.
I do have a muscle car, though.
Yeah, but you're not a muscle car only kind of guy, like one of these enthusiasts.
Yeah, all right.
And you're already like, I miss the soul. I don't want to lose that. Like, I'm just still so surprised that they discontinued the ICE versions to go with the EVs. I'm baffled at this decision by Dodge.
Well, but it makes it good for Ford because they are continuing the Mustang in the V8.
Yes.
So,
which is good. They just need to drop the Mustang name from their Mach-E, and they would be all set. That'd be great.
Yeah, just leave it Mach-E. Just don't take the Mustang piece away from it.
Yeah. we no Mustang enthusiast, myself included, uses that name with that car.
Yep.
It's a Mach-E. That's all it is.
Yep, 100%.
Speaking of sports car, this looks like a nice, it looks like what it is supposed to be, right?
Yeah, looks like
Sports
a sports
car.
car. Yeah.
Nothing weird about that.
Nope.
Faraday.
That's weird looking.
This is the one that Mario and I took a drive in at the car show 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Loved the interior, too expensive. And it's never coming.
$309,000. Jeez.
This is an executive limo, Ray. This is the one with the two 19-inch screens in the back and the massaging chair. It's meant for the back seat, not the front seat.
Gotcha.
So this is an executive limousine, whatever they call it. This is not meant for you to drive the car. This is meant for you
to have somebody drive you in the car.
Hey, here's one that's not coming.
Yeah.
I was just going to say.
There's several in the Fisker line that are not coming. I found these interesting.
There's the pair. What was interesting about the pair was, and if they could have survived until this, maybe it would have done something, but it was going to be cheap because the range was almost nothing. And, it will go, like 70 miles an hour max kind of thing. It's meant for an urban vehicle. It's meant literally for the urban environment to drive around in that. And I don't think that is necessarily a bad idea. I think, that's why it's compact, 2-door, littler, like Ray's Mini, that you can kind of get into the smaller spots in an urban environment. It seemed like a good idea. Like that's a market that nobody's really targeting. And yet, LA, New York, Detroit.
Oh, isn't the new Fiat 500e? Isn't that the same?
I'm sorry. Did you say Fiat?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not saying anybody should buy it. I'm just saying, isn't the pair and the Fiat 500e that I believe comes with a Spike Lee replica? I'm not 100% sure. Or at least the colored glasses. But isn't that basically going after the same urban market?
Maybe. I mean, and maybe if your name isn't Fiat or Fisker, you could sell better. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're right, Ray, and I think it's not a horrible idea. When I first saw it, I live in California. I do a lot of driving. To me, I was like, it's like 120-mile range. I'm like, no, like that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then you read what their target is, and they're trying to do a cheap urban vehicle just for around your area. I talk to people in New York all the time. I know people in New York who have never left New York City in their entire lives.
They're trapped?
I know people who have not left their borough, let alone the entire city.
Wow.
Their entire lives. And that is not super uncommon from what I understand.
Are they under house arrest or something? I mean,
one may or may not be. The Fisker Alaska. I like the look of this. I wish, it's too bad that Fisker was great with plans and not good with running companies.
Yes.
Because Ray and I both like the Ocean.
Yeah, I thought
that was a good looking car.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the recycled interior of it, made from recycled plastic. There's so much about Fisker that I really liked, and I just wish I wish someone had bought them, or they just run better. But the Alaska looks like the Santa Cruz to me, right?
Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Which I like.
Well, another Fisker.
Another Fisker that's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll see how Ford does. Ford just finally officially dropped the e-dealer program, right?
Yes.
Yeah, just fully, anyone can sell EVs if they want to which the dealers are saying, no, thank you.
Yeah, and to which some of the dealers are also saying, "Are you planning on reimbursing us the money we spent to be part of the program initially?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is, yeah.
yeah. I mean,
I
come
think
on.
they need to. Like that's fair.
You know, you were asking dealers that wanted unlimited supply to invest $1.2 million in infrastructure for it. And now, the guy down the street that had the Ford dealership and said, "The hell with that. I'm not doing that." He's going to be able to get just as many EVs as the other guy. Yeah,
But will they be able to charge them?
will they be able? Yeah, I don't know. Will they?
I mean, because they got to install chargers, right? You got to.
Yeah, but if
you're going to sell them, you can't sell a EV that's not charged.
Okay, but here's the thing. If you're a Ford dealer, and how many chargers did you have to install for your $1.2 million?
Yeah.
4, 6, and I don't know. Let's say you have an inventory of 100. You still only have 4 or 6 chargers.
Well, yeah. I mean, so you don't need to. You don't need to charge them every day. You're just rotating.
I get that, but
I get that. But yeah, I know. I say, and Stuart, correct. That is not what the Ford Explorer EV looks like at all. This is definitely not a picture of that.
yeah.
Nope.
But it is on the list. No, I agree. If I was a Ford dealer, I mean, look, I agree with a lot of the dealers. EVs are not made for the dealer world, right? Ray, you've talked about this so many times, how much money the service department makes at a dealership.
Yeah.
And EVs don't pull in that into the service department. You just don't have that. So I get why dealers are like, screw this. Like, I don't want these things. And you're cutting out so much of their revenue by having a vehicle that doesn't need to be constantly maintained. It just...
Well, the one thing that we could say is that it is a Ford, and so therefore there would probably be any number of recalls that are going to need to be done for whatever reason, because that's Ford's history. And so I suppose on the service side of things, you can always look forward to those EV recalls if they have them.
I have to see this report because that is completely inaccurate. They do not have more repairs and maintenance. There's just so many reports out there that show that. I'll look up the consumer reports. I would like to see how they break that down. So not saying that you're wrong, Stan. I believe you read that in Consumer Reports. I want to see that report and check that out.
That looks like a pickup truck.
It does, which again, yeah, it's good. Good for pickup truck owners. Like, right? I think the Canoe may not sell, but the F-150 T3, whatever they're calling it, might.
Yeah.
Those are okay. The GB90. How do we feel about that?
I don't know. I mean, look, this is completely concept.
Yeah.
This is not. We don't even know what this is.
It's ugly.
There's nothing special about this.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I don't mind it so much. I do not mind it so much. I'd like to see it in a different color. I think the black is hiding a lot of the lines I'd like to see in other things. But
Sure.
it's a
Justice,
bold
I'll
move.
go ahead and take it and Photoshop it for you.
Thank you.
That way you
I
can
appreciate that.
see it.
I'll trade
awesome.
it. I'll trade it with you for the pulse shock.
Yep.
Yeah, we know the GMC Sierra looks like that.
What is that? Is that a Lamborghini?
It's a Honda, man. Don't you know a Honda when you see one?
All day, every day, right?
That is one ugly car.
You put a couple fins on this, and you got the Batmobile. I will say that.
My God, that is.
Yeah, this is not. I don't know where they're going with this because it just seems if this ends up being their final design, again, Honda buyers, this is what you think they're going to go with?
No.
Honda buyer, I don't see it. I don't see Honda buyers, going, yeah, I like that design. I'm going to go with that.
It looks like it would have to be aerodynamic, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm missing, where does this whole thing open up? Where's the front
Who
end
knows?
versus
It
back?
does look
door?
like that. It does look like. I mean, look, this side profile. It does look like a Lamborghini. Like, go get another picture of a Lamborghini. I mean, just a much taller one. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, it does. It's interesting design.
Like an older generation Lamborghini.
The Jeep Wagoneer again. Recall, we looked at that one. The EV3, it could be interesting. Look, Kia and Hyundai are the ones who are really challenging Tesla, to be honest. Like, they're the ones that are out there. So I think, while this is not my styling, I'm not going to count Hyundai Kia out on EVs at all. Like, a lot of people are flocking to them. I like them. This one I might be more interested in, though I'm sure you guys aren't.
Oof.
But this is more the styling that I like.
Again, it's a concept car, right? So
Yeah.
I'd love to see what they actually make of it. You know, when it actually gets closer to production.
Yeah. No, and same with that Honda, right? Let's be honest.
Yep.
It's probably not going to look like that when it comes out. But I like the styling a little more. I like the EV6 styling, and this sort of is an update to that. So, yeah, I like that. There's your Lamborghini, Phil.
Yeah.
That looks nothing like a Honda. I don't know what you're talking about.
Now, I did preface at the end, it looks more like a couple older generation Lamborghinis, not, that actually looks cool.
Yeah.
It does. It doesn't look like a Lamborghini. But it looks more muscle car than sports car.
You're gonna think poorly of me when I say this, but this almost has Isuzu made an unusual looking vehicle at one time, and this almost has Isuzu like lines to it.
Huh.
I know you're thinking I'm crazy.
No, I'm only thinking of Joe Isuzu now. Actually, I was trying to think of a good quote from Joe.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. I mean, I'd have to look at it and see. I don't remember. I remember, if you say Isuzu, I'm going to think Joe every time.
Well, sure.
And I have no clue what their cars look like.
Oh my God, guys! It does look like a Camaro. I mean, if you look at the side profile going back to the hump in the in the rear quarter, yeah. I mean, I can kind of see it. Yeah,
I like I said, it looks more muscle car than sports car to me, which isn't necessarily. I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm not Lamborghini. I don't know what their base buyer's looking at. Porsche seems to have done well with the SUVs, so what the hell do I know? Land Rover just looks like a Land Rover.
Yeah.
I don't. There's the Lexus supercar. Yep. This reminds me of something. What car am I thinking of?
R8.
Do you think it looks like the R8?
I know what one you're talking about.
God, what? And I'm trying to think.
I can't. Igor, help us out here.
Because this is exactly. There's something that looks like this. I'm trying.
I know a car.
Yeah. It's there, and I'm like, I've seen that. Just.
It's a super. Obviously, it's a supercar.
Bugatti.
Yes.
Yes, is it the Bugatti? Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It is. Hold on.
Yeah. Thank you, David.
Oh, of course, David Lego comes in. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now I'm going to look up the F432.
To a degree.
I think I'm gonna agree with David. I think it is the Bugatti. Yep, it's the Bugatti that I'm thinking of.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
right
Yep.
there where the blue one is, but also where the take a look at the blue. See how it kind of has the back end there where it has the vents there at the back,
Yeah.
right behind the door. It kind of looks like that.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of. So the Bugatti is one that I was thinking of.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. Obviously, once you get past the A-pillar, then nothing like
Yep.
the Bugatti.
Yep.
This one I think will do well. It's on the TZ first. It's from Lexus. It'll sell well. It has very Lexus sort of feel to it, I think.
Mhm.
I'm getting hungry.
Yep. I was
All
just gonna ask.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to my favorite one because we didn't talk about that one yet.
Okay.
And then we can go. It's the one I am most excited for. In here somewhere. There it is. The Lucid Gravity.
That's a good looking vehicle.
And yeah, and it's going to be cheap for Lucid standards.
What is that?
Cheap.
Well,
you just said cheap for $100,000 car.
No, the Gravity is going to be like 60,000.
Is it?
Yeah, that's one of the selling points is that it's going to be a cheaper vehicle.
Interesting.
I mean, it's still
Okay.
60,000.
I didn't realize that.
And calling 60 cheap is kind of, not fair. But
We're getting into it's going to become where $60,000 is going to be cheap.
yeah, but
I take it
It
back.
reminds me of Toyota-ish.
I think it looks better from the front. I don't like the look of it from behind.
Yeah, you don't like that. It's the rear spoiler thing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
yeah.
I've seen some interior pictures. I thought they had them on here, but
Yeah.
no, it's going to be their first quote unquote affordable vehicle. But
Well,
for an SUV,
Right.
it's bad.
Ray, what's on the menu today?
Well, what's on the menu today is I have nothing here, and so once we close the show, I'm calling Florida Cold Cuts, which is not in Florida; it's in Ventnor, New Jersey, and I'm placing an order for some baked ham, some chicken salad, and what's actually going to be for lunch is a cheesesteak with fried onions and hot peppers, made with Cooper Sharp American cheese. I can't wait
Fantastic.
for that. Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Anything cool on the wrist today?
It's just it's an older watch of mine. I'm wearing it because it's got a yellow face, because
Okay.
I'm wearing a yellow shirt. It's not to be confused with the Golf League, but this is a Live watch. One of the heaviest watches I own. It could double as a weapon. It's that damn heavy, but I just like the look of it. It wasn't a round face, but I wanted a yellow faced watch, and well, I have a yellow faced watch.
It's super neat.
Yeah,
It's cool. Thank you for sharing. Love it.
Anytime, I can share a different watch next week, since
Absolutely.
since I never seem to wear the same watch 2 days in a row. And doesn't everybody try to color coordinate their watch in their shirt?
Yeah.
I do.
Sure.
I literally do.
Yeah.
Every single time I wear my my only watch that I own,
Yes.
I
Which
am
happens to be
also-
black.
I am also wearing black, which
Yeah.
is the only color I wear primarily. So I am always color coordinating my watch and my
Wow. I appreciate that. You have no idea.
Thank you guys. Thanks for going through all these cars and seeing what's out there and what's coming. And
Yeah.
We
That was
can-
I
interesting.
enjoyed it.
Yes.
I like yeah.
Yeah, I think there's some exciting things, and I think there's some trends that you two have been saying you wanted for a long time, and like your big issues with the market. And it seems like the market is agreeing and listening to you guys, and they're going, okay, well, let's do something. Now, if they could get to this infrastructure thing, then we could
That's
really
got to get ironed out first.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's got to get ironed out first.
Absolutely.
We will see everyone next week for something, and some people will be here.
Or something.
We'll talk about something.
I'll be
I don't
here.
want to make promises anymore. Now I don't.
I know you can't. You
We're
can't.
just going to have surprise guests when they show up.
Well, the
And
promise could be is that we'll be here. Whether or
that's
not
it.
somebody else will join us is another story.
That's
But
right.
we'll
That's
be
it.
here.
The three of us will be here, and we will talk about something EV. I still think we might have a Tesla show to talk about Elon Musk saying EVs are not the future of his company. So,
There you have it.
which is interesting.
Yeah.
So we will see everyone next week. Thank you for being here, and thank you, gentlemen.
Yep. Thank
As
you,
always.
everybody. Good seeing you guys.
Thanks, everybody.